What up, y'all? We're the audio on? Yes. Ha ha. We read a book and we're going to talk about it today.
Who else read this book?
What book?
Shade's First Rule. We don't
There
have
we
a
go.
physical copy of it.
Shade's First Rule. Wait, do we still have the picture from last time?
Maybe.
No, that's not it. I don't know if we have it.
Hello, T and Benedict and Johnny and Tim the Gamer and Books on Stereo. We do remember you. So this, hello from Texas. I used to live in Texas. So this is a book club live stream where if you haven't read the book, we're going to get into spoilery territory. So don't stick around if you don't want stuff spoiled for you. But yeah. We read Shade's First Rule by AFK. I love that name still. It's pretty dope.
It's pretty good.
So T said she read it. Books on Stereo read it.
Cool.
I know Christy was reading it, but I don't know if she finished it in time.
I read it.
You read it.
Did you read it?
Yes.
I read it too. I finished it yesterday.
Oh yeah. So what did you... Oh, Exile read it. Awesome. So what did you guys rate it?
I think I only gave it like a 4.
I think I gave it a 4 too.
Hmm.
But, I mean, that's pretty much seems to be my common theme with lit RPGs. Like, I like them, but there's always that little bit that just kind of like isn't the best.
So, I felt like this was like the first chapter of a story. And I was...
Wow, someone gave it a 1.
I really felt like it was just... There was no, like, climax, you know? Like, the final battle at the end
Yeah.
was kind of like one of those things I was just like, wait, when... I only got an hour left. When is, like, the big fight gonna happen? And I was just like, was that the big fight? I'm kind of confused.
I feel like every book needs, like, a big fight, but...
It may not need a big fight, but it needs, like, the crescendo. Yeah. You know, it needs to have some sort of, like, big thing. Granted, it ended pretty awesome, and I was just like, oh, no, Sif.
I feel like this book went, like, up and down for me.
I liked the world. I loved the RPG world. I loved how they really, like, it wasn't just, like, a lit RPG, you know? Like, it wasn't, like, I feel like Sufficiently Advanced Magic is really good, but they don't go into the like RPG part of it as much. Like in this, it's literally like if you are in a video game and you can see your stats, you can pull up your log of what just happened to you. You get reincarnated when you die. You know, you come back to, you respawn basically. So I liked that. It was cool. It was different. I'm sure there are other books out there that do the same thing that we just haven't read yet. Which at that point, I'm going to be like, oh, this one copies, what's it called, you know?
I feel like, though, there were a lot of little points in it where I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. Like, when Uru, or whatever that god was, gave him that special secret, like, class. Mm-hmm. Like, I was like, oh, that's cool.
I felt so bad for him when he, like...
Got his worker class.
I was just like, oh, no.
So you don't have to have a certain number of subscribers to go live. You could have whatever.
You may have to now.
Oh, no, they have changed a lot. Thank you for the shirt comment. So why did you give it a 1 Books on Stereo? I'm confused. I'm not confused, but I want to know why. T gave it a 3.5. I feel like that's pretty fair. I mean, not that your opinion is better or worse than anyone else's, but Exile said, I thought it was an enjoyable story, but the RPG stuff was way too prevalent and was used so much it stunted the actual progression of the story. If you listen to it in audio, I would agree. I feel like if I had read this book physically, now I did buy this book in physical format and it came like pretty damaged, and I was like, this was $18.
You had also already finished listening to it, so
it was pretty damaged, so I was just like, like, I'm sorry, but I have to return it. So I don't have the physical book. But I feel like if I were to read it in physical form, I personally would have just like scrolled through that like super quick and been like, okay, next. But listening to it did get a little much. It was like sometimes you're like a minute on and it's like they're still reading stats.
Yeah.
I feel the same. So T said, I feel the same. It was like, okay, but that's it. Where's the main story? I
So
feel like it
basically,
left a lot to be
let's go over what happened, right? So he goes to get ascended or whatever to get his class. He gets the wrong one and then dies.
Well, it's like a spite thing, right? That's like my favorite word lately.
Yeah.
Like where someone was being spiteful and like didn't give him the class he wanted.
And then we found out about his parents, how they're, bad. Everybody thinks they're bad, but they're probably not going to be bad.
I don't remember that.
That's why everybody hates. That's why the guy hates him.
Yeah.
Is because his dad or parent, mom and dad, were like, they were the only ones that survived, and then they went into hiding or whatever. So we don't really know what happened to them. And then he figures out that he has like the subclass thing or the second class, and he unlocks that, and then gets killed by his buddy, gets stabbed through the eye, and then gets basically taken away into that other world or dimension type thing.
So I
Blappy,
kind of liked
Blappy.
That was funny.
I liked Blappy because she was like a dungeon master.
She was kind of like the sword dragon from...
Not a dragon. Not a girl.
Yeah. So, what was I going to say? I kind of liked that he made it to where you couldn't just die and come back a million times.
There's a penalty, yeah.
Yeah, there's a penalty. Like, I thought it would have been like a little way too OP to have that like ability to just come back. So, I thought that was
There are RPGs that you do lose XP whenever you die, and you could actually de-level.
Like Diablo?
Final Fantasy 11
was
like that, yeah.
So,
and it was tough to get XP in that game, man. It was, you basically only got it from missions.
So,
quests.
Books on stereos that I felt very disconnected from the characters and the story. This is my first book of this genre, and it was hard to get into the story.
This was, I feel, yeah. I understand, especially if it was your first thing. I don't know how into video games you are and RPGs. That's the thing. Like, if you aren't into like the RPG part of it,
you may not like
this one was a tough one. That's why I even said to you, I was like, I'm surprised you liked it as much as you did. I liked
the characters, and like I liked the overall story. Although now I don't remember much of it, which sucks.
Because you read like 4 other books.
I finished it like a month ago. They also said what the F was happening when it shifted. So, then it shifted to I don't care what's happening. Got it.
What?
They said, they were like, what is happening? And then they were like, I don't care what's happening.
Oh, got it.
So Kerbo's right. We only talk about books on this live stream. So if you want to talk about wands and stuff, feel free to join any of the Friday live streams. I did scroll through some of the stats, just glancing at them.
Was that T?
No, that's Exile.
Okay.
The bits in the Black Pyramid were enjoyable. The interaction with
that was the biggest part of the book. That was like 60% of the book, no?
Yeah. I love y'all's hair. Thank you. I think that my main problem with this book is that I didn't really connect with the characters either. I feel like I'm the only person that liked the characters. I thought I can't remember his name. Sift?
Yeah, there was 2 characters.
He was a cool character. I even liked, though, that
the girl?
Chick. What was her name?
The one that liked them?
No, the
Kai?
other one. Kai. How could I forget Kai?
Yeah, how could you forget Kai? That's how I remembered it.
Hi, Christy. I really liked Kai. Like, she was still kind of mysterious and cool.
Yeah, she's like a rogue.
And then, yeah, that's like my favorite. And then, like, the other girl wasn't annoying. She still, like, had her role and her purpose. Yeah. I can't remember her name either. I'm terrible with names.
Yeah, the priestess.
Yes. So she had, like, her role and things, and she was a well-written character, I believe. And I liked Sift, and I liked the main character, not Rowan. Ruin. So, yeah, I don't know.
Rowan or Zoro.
I don't know what that means. Sift was funny. Hama, yes. Hama. Every time I heard that, I thought of that hamama, like that
Hamama,
greens, like microgreen thing.
Microgreens.
So yeah, then he goes into that other world, meets Sift. I thought that other world was kind of interesting.
I loved the whole dungeon thing and how, like,
It was
Blappy
intelligent.
was like a very high level dungeon and was like friends with the god.
Uru?
Yeah, at the end they're
Yeah.
just like hanging out. They're like, so did I break any rules? And Blappy was like, no, you kind of just veered away a little bit, but you're pretty good.
Well, Blappy, you find out, was like the super high level like dungeon.
And I like how, like, it's funny because a lot of, like, in D&D, Dungeons and Dragons, right? A lot of DMs are always on that line between like, oh, I want the party to do really well, and I want to kill them all.
Or make that challenging.
Well, no, a lot of them just want to kill the party.
Oh.
Yeah, and that's a big downside of like some DMs is that they want to win all the time.
I feel like sometimes our last DM was like that.
Yeah, he just like he didn't like losing to us.
Oh my god, he would get so mad.
He'd get so mad. Yeah. So, and that's the thing with her is basically that she's like, if anybody kills you, it's gonna be me. You know, like that. I
thought it was funny. Like, I really liked how Blappy like interacted with Sift a lot, where it's like she kind of secretly liked him, but she's not allowed to. But and then he would never take his treasure. Like, I thought that was a really fun thing.
Imagine our D&D group not taking treasure.
No,
I don't think that could ever happen.
Someone said I can't remember any of the names. I read it like a month ago, and I've read so many books since. I'm with you, dude. I can never remember.
I finished
names.
it yesterday, and I only remember
I literally couldn't
names.
even remember how it ended. And we were driving to my eye doctor appointment yesterday, and he was listening to it.
And
I was like,
then
that's
literally
how it ended?
you heard it, and you were like, "What just happened?"
Yeah.
Just because you weren't paying attention, though.
Trying not to include spoilers from the second one as well as I've already read it. Yeah, please don't. What's your favorite wand? Okay, we're not talking wands. Sounds like a bad DM. I mean, it wasn't bad. It just, you gotta separate yourself and not try to kill all your people. She keeps tempting him with better and better loot. I know, that's like what was so funny about it.
And the tats, the tattoos.
Yes.
When he
I
finally
thought
got
that
his
was
tattoo.
hilarious.
Yeah. There was a lot of good in that book. I didn't find any of it bad. I felt like there could have been more. Do you know what I mean? I feel like it never got to a point.
See, I didn't mind that there wasn't more. I feel like when you get too much, it becomes like a distraction, almost to like, I don't know. I do feel like their training together was a little too long.
No, I don't think so.
So we disagree on that. I thought the chicken part was hilarious.
Mm-hmm. It was definitely a more like light-hearted romp. You know what I mean? Compared to like Sufficiently Advanced Magic, where it's just like dire the whole time. It's just like, we're all gonna die. This is only a school test, but we may die. You know, it's like one of those things. It's just in this, it was like I never felt like I always felt confident that he was gonna figure out a way out, or somebody was gonna be there to save him. So it was kind of like that's the thing that.
That's not really what happened though, because think about it, like
Sif was always there basically.
Well, even in the very beginning, he like died again immediately and like lost all these stats.
Yeah. And actually, if he died in that other
he would have died.
He would have died, right?
Yeah, because they don't have
the
resurrection.
Connection. He doesn't have the connection to Uru.
But I like that they kind of went back to his world at the end.
Yeah, but now what's his face is dying.
Well, they don't know if that arrow is poison, right?
No, she literally said he's gonna die.
Yeah.
If and then it's like the end, and I was like, no.
There's no way that they're not gonna save him.
Dude, it would be cool if he died. I hate when people when they tease us that they're gonna die and then they don't die.
It happens
Chewie.
all the time.
Happened to Chewie. I thought he was dead. I was like, oh man, I can't believe they killed Chewie after all of this, and then he didn't die.
T says, I don't take treasure, only in secret. I felt like it was an intro rather than a full book. I do too. Like, I feel like it was definitely an intro to the world and the story, but I don't know. I enjoyed it.
I enjoyed this more than that other one that I read. The one that I said was like...
Apocalypse?
No. That one
And
was
that's
really
your
good.
star one.
That one was really
I
good.
forgot what it was called. I know what you're talking
yeah,
about.
Yeah, the other one.
Um,
I liked it. I want to read the next one, especially like they left it with like a very big cliffhanger. It was very much like the end of a season, you know, like of a show, and now it's like bum bum bum. Tune in next time to find out what happens in Attack on Titan.
um, what is your top 5 books? I forgot about the chickens. And T said, and they made a comeback comment about the chickens at the end. Chrissy said, I'm with Kivox. I've been kind of like waiting to get to the point for most.
Of the story.
Yeah, okay. No, he would have still respawned. He would have just lost all the XP and memories while outside of Uru's influence. I didn't think so. I think they specifically said that if he died in that world, he died. And like he found that shocking when
I
Sif
think
was like,
there was something about like how he needed to like have a connection to her.
to Uru.
Or is Uru a her? I always thought
Yeah,
it
I
was a
think
her,
it's a
right?
girl.
Okay. I thought he had to have a connection to her to be able to actually like respawn, but I don't know. I didn't understand that part fully. I know that Sif doesn't have the connection, so if he dies, he dies. He doesn't have a connection to any of the gods, so there's no like database of him, like, you know, connected. But I think that's the thing. Yeah, I think that's what it was. He could respawn, but since he has no connection to her directly, it's not uploading to the cloud the whole time. You see what I'm saying? Because there's a disconnect there. So he would have had to form some sort of connection with her to be able to upload his data that he has now. So basically, he would be back to right when he first got there, and he would lose all the memories and
No.
like they said. That makes sense. I think that's correct. Whoever said that.
Chrissy said, I like how Shade's first rule was always something new each time. Yeah, I thought it was unique and kind of like a cute twist, and like I like how that's that's the name of the book.
Mm-hmm.
Books on Stereo said, I'm so lost I legit remember nothing of this book. What is a good intro lit RPG to read? I'm a casual gamer.
I really like Sufficiently Advanced Magic.
T said Sufficiently Advanced Magic could be a good soft start. I think Sufficiently Advanced Magic is really good, but it is dense. And it's got a lot of information. So it's less stat related, but it's definitely like a dense read.
But it's not more magic, but it's still the same amount of magic, but you're not going to have all those numbers. You know what I mean? It's not going to be like, my strength stat is at 15, and my dexterity is at 16, and my health regens at 1.5 per second. Like, there isn't any of that in it. But there is still, like, you know, magic and stats, but they're like hidden behind the veil. They're behind the scenes, and they're still there. As the characters get more powerful, those stats do go up, but they never really talk about the numbers of it. It's like I'm stronger now, you know, type thing. Like I've gained a level, and now my aura is you know,
they do talk
sunstone
about it, though.
now.
Yeah, like he talked about mana a lot.
Yes,
like
and that and, like, number. That's but that's really the main
only number.
The main number is just the mana pool. That's it.
Not to spoil anything, but the second one is very much more of the first. Not too much story progression again, but slightly more.
It's cool.
I mean, I guess it's good to know going into it. They don't expect some like epic thing.
I wasn't expecting. I was expecting more of the same.
I buyed all of your merch. Do we have merch?
Yes.
We have T-shirts and coffee mugs.
Yeah.
Sufficiently Advanced Magic could be a good... Oh, I've already read that. Who is Shade? Isn't Shade
it's
the name
land.
of that land?
Yeah.
That other world where Sift comes from?
No, I thought it was...
I thought it was.
I thought it was the whole planet.
No, because they don't talk about Shade's first rule until he goes where Sift is. And, like, he learns about Shade's first rule. And he's like, what do you mean? Like, why do you keep saying that? And he's like, well, that's the kind of the thing.
Well, What's-Her-Face was telling him that first. Kai was telling him that first.
No, I'm pretty
sure. She said it to him first.
Maybe she gave him one rule.
Maybe 2 or 3. And then when he got there, she said it. She said it a couple times.
It didn't happen until he went to the other place.
Nah, man, it happened before.
I don't know if I love Stephen King. I only read like 2 or 3 of his books.
It says like. Do you like Stephen King?
I only read 2 or 3, and I remember liking them, but it's been years. I really tend to like movie and show adaptations of his stuff, so... Hello, I don't know how to say your name. Ruma
Duta.
So, yeah. I always feel like these books that we give 3 and 4 stars, we don't really know what to talk about. Like,
I mean, we talked about a bunch.
Yeah.
We've been talking for like 20 minutes.
So our next book club pick, I talked about it in our Discord chat a bit this morning. I really couldn't figure out what I wanted to read.
Am I gonna like this book?
I think so. It is like a classic.
That doesn't mean I like it.
Okay.
I don't like Lord of the Rings.
Anytime, I tell people that I like fantasy books, this is one of the series they ask me if I've read, and that is Wheel of Time series. So I've never started it. I have never read any portion of it. So we're going to be reading Eye of the World, which is book 1 in this series for the next live stream. All these covers are god-awful.
Yeah, it's pretty old school, huh?
So that live stream is going to be July 26th, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Is she a halfling?
I know nothing about this story.
Or is she just a small lady?
Like, literally nothing.
Is that bat a part of it? There's a bat flying.
Sounds like it might make an interesting anime. I think it would.
Oh, yeah. That would be dope.
Hello, Flames. Couple of good lit RPG series. The System Apocalypse by Tao Wang. Currently up to 9 books. The Realms by C.M. Carney. The best so far I've read was Reborn Apocalypse. Still need to read books 2 and 3.
Did you read that with us? Did they read that with us?
I don't remember.
We read it. Go back to a couple of live streams ago. We talked about it. I loved it. I gave it a star. Right?
We didn't read that in the live stream.
Oh, we didn't?
No.
There wasn't a live stream.
Yeah, it was.
But I read that. It's like one of my favorite. I love it too. I like that and Sufficiently Events Magic are my two favorites. And really the Karis one is really good too. And that's in July 7th. T told July 7th or 9th. T just told me about it today. I was like, bah, 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 bah. I think I put it in my calendar though. Like when you told me last time about it. So
we
I'm
could
ready to
probably
go.
just pre-order it.
And then just have it available. Yeah.
Books on Stereo said, I can't wait. That is a long series. I know it's a long series. We probably won't continue it on this book club live stream unless a lot of people read it and enjoy it. Then we may continue on. Like we did that with Brandon Sanderson books. Like we did a bunch of live streams.
You still got to finish.
But then toward the end, when people started dwindling off, we were like, all right, we're going to start reading.
Yeah, because the books were still like this big, and people were like, well, I haven't read all the other ones, so I'm not going to read these.
Yeah. So we're going to start with this one. If a lot of people read it and a lot of people like it, we can continue on with this series until maybe the same thing happens where too many people fall off again. Exile said, the only thing I know about Wheel of Time is that Brandon Sanderson finishes the series when Robert Jordan died.
All right, we need to wrap this up because I need to pee really bad.
Go pee. Miss a Part, I Crashed. Anne of Green Gables is a good set of books. I never read it. I read Reborn Apocalypse after you reviewed it, devoured it in a single sitting.
Wow.
You missed it, T. Kivox started cussing. I switched to my phone and the internet crashed. That sucks. Fairy Tale for Sale Sold was a good read. I've never heard of that.
I gotta pee.
Well, thank you guys for joining.
Which one? Okay. Let's go over it one more time. This book.
Eye of the World. I'm going to put it on my Instagram. I'll put up, it'll be in our TBR video, and I'll also make like a thing on the YouTube page. I can't remember what it's called. Like a post?
Yeah, on the comment page. Or the community page. It's going to be
July 26th, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I hope you guys like it. I know
hope I like it.
Christy's read it, so please join. And Christy really liked it. So I'm looking forward to it. And it's like 1.5 million pages.
Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed. This was a short one. We'll see you guys next time. And if you have any suggestions for future books, leave them in the comments. Not in the chat, in the comments.
Bye.
Say bye, Meek.
Bye, Meek.
Bye-bye-bye.